Radiant team pick.
Sure, I was they
Everything
don't have
is good as dumb. It's like, oh,
the last game, but leaving your supports is so nice because it feels like a lot of cores get like banned out. The best ones are not there anymore, and like a lot of other cores don't kind of have enough of a skill set. Whereas the support pool, you don't really want to like really ban out 100 supports, and there are so many of them, and cores you can play as supports and so on. So this Phoenix having a last pick like this, it deals with these really tanky guys. You're having all that percentage damage. Seems really nice. They don't have anything that can click the egg as well. So having the Ravage into the egg, your team fight is insane on Bet Boom right now. Yeah. Better than last game.
Yeah, I remember even a year ago, thinking about draft analysis, we often got to these last couple of picks and we're thinking they need a carry hero that has a stun, that has tower damage, that is able to, get this item, needs a BKB, and you're thinking, what carry hero can fit all these boxes? And like you're saying now, it's like, okay, well, you've got percentage-based damage from Phoenix, you've got Supernova, that's team fight ability, you've got Catch, you've got all these great little ways to fill the gaps in your draft.
They think they've run into maybe a small problem with BKBs, but overall it's not that bad. Like, as in, their ability to start a fight relies on either a Ravage or Willow just kind of brambling you and stunning you with her spells, and all of these are kind of countered by like Dispel or a BKB. But that, Primal Beast is going to rush a BKB. Pudge usually wants to go some small item into an Ags. I mean, they should have a timing.
Can Navi still just go like snap here? They're looking for support, right? No.
Apparently not.
Am I crazy? DP is DP 5 then.
That's support primal.
It is a support primal beast. Not happy?
I don't like it. No, not I don't want.
Disappointed. I'm excited to see something new. Now we've seen a lot of these 3 primal beasts with that Phase Boots, BKB, Kai Sange, Blink Dagger, but having a support one here, what is it going to be paired up with the Death Prophet, you reckon? Like, what are the lanes that we're looking at?
Yeah, it should be Death Prophet, Primal Beast, playing into a Visage and a Phoenix. I mean, they don't have any defensive capabilities here on that safe lane. I'm thinking, I feel like there could be a lot of kill threat if Primal Beast is getting that onslaught in. Trample, they have no stuns to stop him from trampling. The only thing they really have is the Grave Chill on Visage to get that move speed to try and move away. I don't know, DP can kind of just walk up and use the spells on you. They could probably force the Huck off the wave pretty bad.
So I guess then the question comes back around to, do Bet Boom tri lane again? Is that something that can remedy those problems? Like, do they aggro try with the Visage, Willow, and Phoenix and leave Tide alone?
That strong tri lane doesn't sound.
I don't know. Phoenix seems pretty weak. I mean, like, Willow Visage, I'd be happy with, a Tusk or something, right? You'd want someone that can go in and amplify your damage, get those Soul Assumption stacks up. Lots of questions here. How Bet Boom are going to set things up?
You're playing
for preparation is short.
Under into Cloth as well. They're gonna wanna do a lot of focus on these runes. So even if you do try and tri-lane, or even if your lanes are going bad or good or whatever, I think we're gonna see a lot of supports moving to the mid to try and deal with the runes, and that in return will provide relief to cores on both sides. So if the Huck does end up having a pretty bad lane, he should be able to get some experience as soon as these rune timings start to hit.
Especially when it's going to feel like you need to pressure no one's Ember Spirit here. Having that lack of real consistent lockdown. You've got Ravage and Brambles, but nothing that's really going to irritate no one in a team fight. Ember Spirit seems to have maybe not a free game, but definitely an easier game than usual.
Oh my god! The persecution starts.
One of the predictions is number of trees destroyed by 30. And that is so hard to judge because Primal Beast destroys trees, but no one else does.
Yeah, how many tangos are we gonna have? Nobody else does? Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's the Supernova still?
Maybe? That's not common enough, really, for... You know what, whatever. I'm gonna just throw it at him, right? I'm just gonna close my eyes and play.
Oh, I've forgotten to predict for some of them. I ran out of time. VG. Soul Assumption, pretty hefty. And look at Noticed with the gush. He's going to slow down the Pudge. Seneko has these fiery spirits to keep on chasing. They're going to take you down, aren't they? One more punch from the Phoenix to be able to do the trick.
This was bound to happen. He missed his first hook. That is bad luck.
Bad luck. Wait, the tree destroyed is already at 10, Cheapo.
What? How? Oh no. It says 0 to... Oh no, it's at 11. What the hell?
It's
How?
at 11. Everyone's tangoed at once.
I forgot about tangos.
Yeah.
Okay, I did 176 to 300.
Oops.
I mean, it might be okay. There's 16? What the hell? Where are these trees?
Denied.
Quelling blades, tangos, people are just chopping trees down everywhere.
Stop chopping trees!
Deforestation is evil. Top lane.
19 trees, it's over.
It's fine. Up to level 1 on the primal beast. They're going to be looking for denies, get the punches in.
Between DP and primal beast, it would be nice to see them focus on CS and then just get your level. Like, if they can get their levels earlier than the baboon team, they have way more. Like, if they get level 2 first, that is huge. That is like free kill instantly onto like the half, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Dahang very, very forward. Trying to...
Look at the uproar though on primal beast. I think if they had trample plus onslaught, then that is for sure death. I mean, maybe they can still get something.
Potentially. V-Tune trying to recover from that first blood death. Only 4 last hits. Does have solo here and lands the hook onto Noticed. Can't really continue forward. Seneko leaves the lane for a little bit to try and block up the small camp. Can return. Keep V-Tune at bay. It's a difficult one for the Tide Hunter though against this regen from the Chen. Did go for the Divine Favor level 1, has a headdress, so V-Tune is going to be topped up through the entirety of this first couple of minutes.
Good luck. Laser's getting annihilated. Oh my god. He had a full wave under his tower. I think he missed every single CS.
Oh dear.
And like 3 of them got denied, including both range creeps.
Oh, that's not good.
That's sad.
So he hits level 2, Sweden Strong still level 1. That boom, they're here with Soul Assumption, Shadow Realm to escape, so Robbie can continue playing aggressively. Has that backup plan as they actually turn onto Sweet and Strong, but he moves around all the brambles and lays. He's going to kill the Willow here, pretty low on Roger. Another Spirit Siphon and another hit. Oh, that's enough to kill her off. Dahak can't get the trade back. Sweet and Strong still alive on 50 health.
He's that was all the mangoes gone now on Dahak. He doesn't have his Bassi or anything. Looks like he's gonna hand over Sage's mask. Yeah, Sweet and Strong tanked a lot of nukes there. Makes Laser's lane a lot easier.
Yeah, it sure does.
So.
I got that wave coming back in towards them with the flag bearer as well. So Lei is going to be near tower while last hitting, so he does a better job this time around. Looking at that mid lane, Ember Spirit 22 and 2 up against the Queen of Pain. Up that early stick, has the bottle. Yeah, very, very solid job there.
So I know supports will rotate for the 4-minute runes. 6-minute I think is where most of the action will come from. And until then, everyone is pretty preoccupied with their own lanes. Just doing their best.
I love watching like position 5, you know, old school players, captains just having warding battles. Seneko and Solo have been like centering, dewarding, body blocking, battling over this small camp. It's a small camp, but it's so important. So important. We've noticed in that straight 1v1 against the Pudge, which he is starting to dominate now, you know, level 2 anchor smash. V-Tune not able to get the last hits in that he would want.
It's much harder when you have a support with kill threat, right? Because the rot is kind of scary, and especially the hook as well. If you overstep, you can just get walked down, but Ken is not that type of support. They're going to play much more for just CSing on V-Tune.
He's getting gone on though, needs to pop the flesh heap. Diving forward, Seneko. Not sure he can finish the job. Under tower, hooks back the flag bearer, misses the heroes. He does. He's got a ring of health as well, so he's gonna stay sustained in that lane. Doesn't have to leave. Wait for the wave to come back in, but it is just complete freedom for Noticed. Well on his way to phase boots, has his own ring of health, delivering out a soul ring now, so we can spam out anchor smashes and gushes at will. Another piece.
I saw on Sweden Strong, he took the bounty rune as well, so Queen of Pain doesn't have that extra bottle refill. If she doesn't get the 6-minute rune now as well, it's gonna be kind of annoying for her. He might have to return to base.
Yeah, she's brought 2 clarity to herself. I was watching her kind of walk back towards Fountain, wondering what's going on there. Bounty's delivered. And yeah, 20 seconds until that rune spawns. Everyone's being kept occupied in the sidelines though. Chen can't really rotate. Top lane, they're playing aggressive on the tower, trying to burn through Dahak's HP pool. Lays very close to finding the finish, but now stuck under the tier 1. Burst down by the soul assumption, pops the stick. Can we get out of this? Raindrops are also available. Might be able to withstand a little bit of damage from the Shadow Realm, but the soul assumption comes through while they're on cooldown.
Too much of a dive. That Grave Chill, he's gonna be putting 2 points into it at level 4. Sometimes you'll see visages when they're in like a dominating lane go to 2 points in soul assumption, but not here. Not here. The Grave Chill max makes much more sense, and we'll keep him safe. No one actually rotated for 6 minutes, by the way. I can't believe it. I genuinely thought we would see a lot more heroes. But everyone is fighting so much in their side lane. Yeah. I think everyone's scared to kind of leave their core alone. Like, that Boom feel like bot lane, they have kill threat on V-Tune. I think if Chen leaves, they can't just go on him, get that kill. Yeah. Solo needs to stay with him, keep him safe.
These cores, just a ball and chain shackling you to a lane. You're not allowed to leave. That means Lowell, gets the haste rune, bottles it up, and no one not able to get that active rune. How to go up towards the top bounty. Still waiting for this final beast to start kicking off. I keep watching Sweden Strong like behind tower near small camp, wanting the dog below to come his way.
Against looks like no one's gonna rotate top as well. Maybe if they can tank out, keep the siege creep, connect on no one, dive the towers, get some kill.
They've got Spirit Sight now playing guard. That's a damage over time. But keeping up here. No one's ready to respond to the rune. Stops the onslaught and a 3-man sonic wave. Lob. Right place, right time to help burst down that DP of lane. Sweden Strong picked off now too, while no one just zips back to his remnant. Doesn't want to stick around there anymore.
Shame. You put yourself in a bad situation because you're so desperate to keep your siege alive. At some point you have to realize, okay, it's gonna die, I have to tank way too much. You have that threat of wild CP constantly that you need to be thinking about. Because they don't, they die. No one's just way too far away. Maybe he needed to rotate sooner, or maybe I think Navi just needed to kind of chill. And that invis now.
Yeah, and that Boom getting a nice little net worth advantage. They're 3 cores anyway, starting to get ahead of their counterparts. No one in behind tier 1 top. Can't really find the finish on Dahak with no points in the Searing Chains. I just want to quickly point out again, Noticed he's going for this Aghanims build again, so really prioritizing this AoE minus armor, the gush coming out from the Aghs for this Tide Hunter.
I think it makes sense if that Boom are in a good situation, because the minus armor from range just means like their idea is always to ball up with Visage. That's kind of what he does. And when ahead, you just have a long-range way to catch with the slow. You don't have to rely on Ravage. It's gonna make your Visage do way much more damage. I do like it. I just didn't like it last game because it felt like they needed to really just get a good team fight off, and they couldn't find it because of the Aghs. But this game, they seem to be in a much better position, so I like it a lot more. Especially playing against Chen.
Yeah, especially if you're wanting to chase people as well. Having Queen of Pain, Visage, even as Dark Willow. Chasing people when they're feared or caught out. That gush really helps. And no one. Really keeping the pressure on Lowell here, just under the tier 1, clicking the Queen of Pain over and over again. And cut the wave as well, allow his wave to reach that objective.
Forcing him out just before 10-minute rune as well. There's a lot of diving happening top again.
Desperate for it. now. The TP's out. Nobody can stop Roger's Dark Willow.
See Sweden Strong, he tried to onslaught, did he instantly get moved as well? Did he accidentally cancel it?
Getting brambled. His Dark Willow definitely showing how strong she can be. Just bramble maze against onslaught. There's no real angle that Sweden Strong can take to get through them. And we'll get the tower though. Opening up that top part of the map, and they've already got a little bit of vision in that jungle. Close to expiring, 20 more seconds remain. Bad Boom going to make a concerted effort down bottom. Let's do some counting. 4 plus 2 plus 1. Oh, right. The golden shiny talent tree to give away. He is holding a skill point on the tide. So we'll have Ravage if more TPs come down here, and they will start to filter through. Supernova behind. Vincian is absolutely screwed, though. He's pushed around by the onslaught. Egg lands. The Podge down. Nothing Sweden Strong could do to combat that. And with a catapult wave here, it looks like Dahak wants to get that tower trade.
Still have Ravage, so PP up top is just gonna chill and farm for a bit. She used Exorcism and won't have it for 70 seconds. I think they will want to use this in the future for multiple objectives. They'll want to take mid tower, and they'll want to take Roche with it as well. There's obviously counterplay from Bet Boom. They still have Ravage, so if they come mid with the Exorcism, you can always kind of go there and try to take a fight. I think maybe it's nice though, at least, even if you don't get the tower, to use an Exorcism to force heroes to come mid and respond is still like a powerful thing, and it will give space to the Pudge, who does need it. His lane was, you know, not the best. You could have more. Usually you want to like really the offlane out really hard and just farm hard camp with your hook and stuff and just really amplify your farming. He'll get that space now.
That's not the better to have his tide on the same length as well. Solo is trying to force them back, and there's no one. And Sweden Strong trampling on the Dark Willow. Roger trying to figure out where he should fear. Now he comes down land, but he's pulverized. Finished off by the Ember Spirit.
It looks like Notice is doing what I thought Laze would want to do. He just comes mid and forces rotations, but at this point now, I think the Navi is a bit stronger.
Yeah, channeling. So chill and run away. We've got Centaur stomps and Finley is landing so much. Navi on the middle lane. Oh, the rabbit. The tentacles. They have got him, and he'll roll onto lanes with the spirit softens. He stayed alive. It's taken down right quick, but stunned there. No one was going to allow it to land. No, it's not. So Nako dying. Dark being hunted by the Ember Spirit with his remnants. No one popping off. Going to catch Roger as well on the back end of the fight with Sweden Strong giving him the triple kill. That's a 5-man wipe in the end. Did Navi lose a single soul? No.
I do not think so. They had this Chen, and he had a Hand of God. I was watching Laze closely because he was the most like quote unquote out of position as they push that tower, because you saw how Sweden Strong approached it, right? He onslaught in onto the Tidehunter and then quickly uses Tumbler's Toy to get away from him. He's trying to poke and try and force Ravage and try and get like back into position. Meanwhile, Laze is a little bit deeper, but this Ravage comes out, it hits everyone. Chen uses the mech, he uses the Hand of God. Everyone's kind of staying around like mid health, and they're just fine. It was such a good mitigation of damage. Bedlam really struggled to burst all these heroes, especially when I think Laze got his Siphon off too.
Yeah.
Before the Ravage went off. Yeah, it is really hard, really hard.
Yeah, but you're right. That mech Hand of God kept him barely alive. The last second needed as well. Huge for Navi, winning a fight through Ravage, through Supernova. And I was going to start saying that Seneko is pretty farmed for a support Phoenix. Has his Spirit Vessel, but yeah, that mech.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. The healing is looking like too much for now. Maybe Bedboom just need more items. Right now it's not looking too hard. Like their draft, when we saw this 10 DP in the first phase anyway, it felt like they didn't really address it with anti-healing that much.
Now Vessel step 1. See what they do in a little bit. No one really going to be buying Scardy that early on. They'll have Wraith Pack to to maybe help out in terms of mitigating damage from the opponents as well.
Dire's top tower.
It feels weird, right? Like, I feel like this is a draft getting exploited. When you're picking wizards like this, it means that your enemy doesn't have to worry about something like a Terrorblade. Because if I see a DP and I see a Chen, I'm super keen to take something like Terrorblade. You get a natural Skadi buy with high armor that doesn't really care, able to fight back in the lane with the meta.
And then a ranged hero basically against, you know, people like Pudge, Ember Spirit, slow them down. Definitely one of the weaknesses here of BetBoom's drafting. Well, they've shown time and time again that they can definitely come back from situations like this and worse. With a few little smoke rotations, they've got a big team fight, and now we've got Wraith Pact of Dahak, but that's timed up with a DP BKB as Navi ready themselves for another exorcism to go again. Triple wards around this mid to top area of the map, so they perfectly see Roger. Gets into the shadow realm, goes crown on between strong. There is just a support pile beast though, as noticed. He gets collapsed on by the rest of Navi, and two quick kills will turn into thirds, but chains onto Visage, catching Dahak, using the defensive supernova to try and delay this. Navi held back with a great hook from B2, catches Phoenix at the end of the A. Familiars and the Sunray. Just a bit of back and forth now, and a 2-for-1 trade. The Navi were able to hold on to Exo, so they're still able to think about objectives, whether it be Roshan or a tier 2, or even just another team fight.
I'm sure if you want to try going for a tier 2 before the Roche, I think they're just looking for their kind of nice Roche fight that they can get. That was probably going to be it for them if they could get a little bit more kills. This defensive egg did kind of force them back off the heart. It's just looking scary, right? Another reason I like this Pudge is he's a natural Vanguard buyer, and it makes the birds do very little damage, especially pre-level 12. So much damage block makes you only really susceptible to the magic damage, which, I mean, you're still lacking levels, right? Phoenix hasn't even maxed out his Sunray yet. He's getting so much damage block from Fleshy.
Right, then you've got this Ember Spirit who's near BKB.
Yeah, and it's DP with a BKB. They should just keep playing around top right now on Navi. Dangling for that good fight. There's still a Ravage to be aware of.
Oh, the Sars, the Spirit Cypher. No one doesn't want to change in a second. Blaze is even going to BKB Exo for this one to finish off. Notice, oh, V2! He's caught that one up a little bit, but no one's there to clean up the mess. Always. Straight onto this Willow now. Pulverize. Sorry, Onslaught. So many spells on this one.
New spells, don't worry about it, bro.
Uproar, Trample. Just say them all.
Bro. Didn't force out BK, the Ravage. I think that's what they were maybe hoping for by going on Tide Hunter. They know that as long as they don't get killed. I don't think DP is burstable through a Ravage when she's at full health, and she had the BKB afterwards if the team, if BetBoom like collapsed on her after Ravage. It's just the only thing there. I think they wanted the Ravage so they could safely do the Roche. I think as long as the Ravage is up, they have the potential to mess up the Roche fight and to lose the game.
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah, BetBoom right now, they've got green lights across the board. They are ready to smoke and go. Notice the only one kind of out there on the map. Oh, where are they going? Up at the triangle. V2, the Pudge. He's going to get the Curse Crown on him. Tanky boy, this Pudge, though, as the backup is coming. The heal from Chen. Still ready to arrive as the Supernova going to get focused down by no one's BKB Extra, and then Pulverize into Dahak's Visage. No one with a double kill. Dahak on the run away, but BetBoom has completely lost out on this fight. Can't Ravage, can't survive. Tide will die. Roshan belongs to Navi. And the DP and the Ultra. No one with a long-range slider fist. Swift into the pit.
They're searching for their opening to try and get this Roche, trying to get the Tide to Ravage, poking people, trying to look for fights. Nothing's happening. What does BetBoom do? They hand the Roche to them on a silver slider. Hello, they just, the small mistakes that kind of left the fight going so badly. Phoenix held his egg a little bit too long. We had used it earlier. Like, there was like a split second from no one killing that egg, and it popped, and it could have been big. Obviously looking for that Ravage that they couldn't get. I think they missed the Bramble as well onto the Pudge farming the camp, so he was able to just get himself a little bit out of the triangle to safety and give his team time to connect. Just some rough things. Maybe they shouldn't have started with the Dark Willow, or this is the problem with these drafts, right? You don't have a proper initiator, and your tide is buying an Ags, which, yeah, I thought was good when they were ahead, but they're definitely not ahead now. And you have all these problems again.
And you're losing your Phoenix. The support beast really showing how strong he can be across multiple roles. Just Arcane Boots now has a Blink Dagger 20 minutes in. But the team fight disruption. He onslaughts through a bunch of heroes. He pulverizes one target they want to remove from the fight. Kind of similar to Brewmaster cycloning someone. It doesn't matter if you kill them. It's just remove Willow, remove Queen of Pain, stop them from doing damage early on. Remove that early burst. And limit the pain coming down towards you. They go straight back into mid. Navi's just gonna die again. Not able to use Ravage. Navi finding every pick-off they need. And looking like they'll secure this best of 3.
Venusron got a blink now as well. Primal looking very scary. I liked earlier as well in these team fights. Him just onslaughting in onto anyone is making it so hard for Bedroom to play the fights. The Willow wants to sit back and use her terror. Oh no, Willow's gonna be gone again, please!
Oh, the final thing. He gets the pulverize and that hug there through the Shadow Realm. Some of the problems I saw with that Willow pick, like yes in the lane, yes against Onslaught, you're good with the Brambles. There's so many tools to spill damage through the Shadow Realm. Mako off the map again. Sweden Strong wants to join him off map as well, trying to Onslaught over the cliffs.
Like I said, this Willow wants to sit behind his torch generally and wait with the Terrorize, get this counter initiation fight beat. And that's just really hard for him when Sweenstrong's running at him every single fight. Oh god, relax, my friend.
I mean, Navi, they want a quick one. They will catapult them. They're on the tier 3. Swallows here. Don't trust me. He's giving bonus armor to everyone. And notice, it's just dying to the what? You can't die there. 30 seconds without your time. No Ravage now for Bedroom. So this top lane looks like it's forfeit.
The Hawk doesn't have a TP. He's on 5 seconds cooldown. He can't even stop if he wanted to.
Oh, they've got another one. Roger grabs it by BG. He missed the first one of the game, but he's landing them when they really do matter. Look at this! They're playing Pulverize! They've got so much control while Hasta. They've got the Queen of Pain all locked in place. Blink is ready to try and get her out of this one. Look at no one with a beyond godlike spree. He's unkilled and unkillable.
Is under attack.
Meanwhile, in Dark Land,
The persecution starts now.
execution starts now.
We're unfortunate, yeah, not having that TP cooldown.
Middle tower is under attack.
Not be capitalizing on everything.
Simple tier 2 mid. No, they're going to think about coming bottom to find Daha. He's not escaping from this. He pushed it. But tower too far. Went towards the tier 3.
I think it's just trying to provide any sort of relief to his team for even a moment. You're not going to set up on this tower. Pine's finished his Ags now.
Solo really starting to feel himself now. This game is ours to lose. No one had a stellar game. Aghanim Scepter ready on his Ember Spirit. Preparing for the tier 2 mid again. Charging forward. Sweden Strong, the pulverizing the silence. Nice little combo there to make sure there's no way out for any of these heroes. There's no one going. They're just jumping straight into the enemy base. Complete freedom for this Ember Spirit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
When you talk about the defensive part of the punch when the enemy is pushing you high ground, right? Oh, you don't want to get hooked onto tier 4. So what if you just hook someone into your whole team and you don't like it? People want to play back.
Needs a Sonic Red to save him. Notice grabs up on the pulverize. He's looking at a good ramage with a supernova on Charlie. And then their best chance to look at the fight. God negates everything. They've got heals for days. Bleed's still full HP. No one's going to run it away. Back towards no one. Ain't no test. And Tynan dead. DP with these Spirit Siphons and Crypt Swarm. Too much magic down to handle. While back in towards mid, we do lose our Roger Dark Willow. Rejected down and out here in game 3. And good game is called. So Nako says it's all over. And Navi takes the victory.
Didn't expect that.
Well, it's done, it's
Not
done.
like that at all. Navi Dodo. That's all I have to say.
some real good stuff.
How do they do this? Every series, they just make it look so rough. And then they come out swinging like this. And by the way, I am a fan of the sport Primal Beast. Talked about it. We haven't seen it before. Only seen it in this core role. I was not keen. I actually think he played really well around all these root stuns and stuff, and like made his lane much stronger. I think he kind of he fit.
Good dog.
He fits,
seeks resolution. Dire's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to ban. It is Dire's ban. It is Radiant's ban. Dire's turn to pick. Radiant's turn. Radiant is the undying waits. Bad Rider! It is Dire's ban. Faceless Void. Dire's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to ban. It is Dire's ban. Seconds. 5 seconds remain.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Eastern Europe Qualifiers. I'm only Pixel here with Fogged, and we're pretty much ready to take you into the next series already. We're, of course, jumping down to the lower bracket now for the final 2 series of today. The first one, of course, being Namiga up against PuckChamp. Draft has begun. It's on your screen. Fogged, what do you expect out of this? Because it's going to be interesting, because personally, we haven't followed any of Namiga's games or PuckChamp. So getting to see them for the first time here ourselves in the lower bracket. Sort of first reactions from you with regards to the players that you're seeing on your screen and what you expect from them.
I mean, there's a lot, right? I think we and you have gotten to cast like all these players for like years, honestly, as they've been getting better and better. Malik, Astral, Crystallized, Young G. I don't know. PuckChamps was the first player. 11. I don't recognize that one, but I know Malreen, Sobad, Kitra. Yeah, all these guys. Like they've been on the grind for a long time in this region. So looking forward to some.
Wait, PuckChamp.
Nice.
Yeah, of course you recognize him. It's the one and only Lil.
Oh, is it actually Lil? Okay,
I
was trying to. Yeah. Well, okay. I didn't see his camera, but wait, I have him on friends list though. I don't. Oh, he is in the. He is there.
yeah, it's Lil. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. I thought it was him, but then, I mean, now I see him, of course, in the camera. He looks a little different, of course, with his beard, but...
Yeah, he's got his beard going, yeah.
All right, yeah, but this should be exciting. I think both teams are really aggressive from what I've seen, and I think that's really different from what we've been actually getting to cast. I feel like most of our games are really passive, but I think this one should turn the heat up. Like this Bat Rider play, they've done it now twice where they play really aggressive around the Bat, and Marcy's the best hero, actually, in my opinion, to play with Bat now, because it's the same as like first in the past. Now it's easier to punish that mid lane.
And do you mind this, or is this risky, picking the Phoenix into the Marcy?
From what we've seen, it looks like it can be a bit of a risk. These Marcy's, this hero, this hero just feels like it's full buffed, honestly.
Sure, they're doing it right because they've got the combo, right? They have the Void Phoenix.
Sure, and they have Disarm with Pango as well too. Like that's actually really frustrating to play against. Undying also, like there's going to be a lot of stuff on the ground to deal with. So Marcy has to pick. What do you want to kill? Tombstone or Egg maybe in some situations. But this is a quick draft. They're not using like almost any reserve time. Namiga used a little bit.
No, not too. Yeah, PuckChamp hasn't used. Still got 2 minutes in time left on theirs.
Yeah. So they have a Dispel for the Pango Shield Crash with the Enchantress, which would be nice. Unfortunately, this is a very random thing, but the Enchantress Shard does not work on Undying Zombies. I tested that. I was hoping it would, but...
that would be pretty wild.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? The zombies just go crazy.
Zombies are just one of those things that... so many things just don't interact with.
Yeah.
It would be
I wish
crazy.
it worked though. I
would be
tested
cool,
all of them.
yeah.
I tested like all the summons kind of things just in case. Undying would have been broken, so it makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah.
PogChamp looks like they've gotten themselves a really nice draft right now for this Alchemist. Like Bat Marcy can put a lot of pressure, Enchantress can secure lane. Namiga, more of a late game kind of oriented with this Void versus to like counteract the Bat with time dilation and stuff like that. But this Alch could be a problem. He could kind of just free farm. I don't see a way for him to pressure his lane right now.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Depends on what their last pick is going to be, but
Dire's
we have
turn
seen teams
to
do
ban.
some fun stuff with like Undying aggros. Of course, we saw that from Seneca, I think it was, right? So maybe that's something they could look at. Undying +1 to slow down this Alch Ench. Still feels difficult. I'm not even sure what the +1 could be for that.
Have a look. Final pick.
10
gonna get
seconds
Easy
remain.
team fight though on Namiga. So it's like even if they can't pressure the Alch too much early, they have
For sure, yeah.
so much team fight that they're very likely to just win every single one of these like these skirmishes. If it's like if they have numbers, if they have like even numbers, they'll win almost every fight. It looks like with their massive team fight draft.
Yeah, I don't have any team fights at all. Really.
No, they have none on
Champ.
PogChamp. Just catch and kind of lane security. It looks like for the most part what they've gone for. Very different style.
Yeah, clearly something that they're totally fine with. And we've seen, you know, as we say, how quickly they've been picking their heroes this draft. PogChamp, there's been no hesitation in what way they want to take this game.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if how much we'll see the Alchemist farm zombies too, because that's what people picking the Alchemist with secure Undying to take but any of these summons. Okay, that's
But
good.
it's sort of the Alchemist buster, right? You know,
Yeah.
but just popping that corrosive haze down on him and turning down his armor. And something that's going to make sure that even if your Void has a bad game, he's not going to be that Void that does 0 damage in the chrono.
Yeah.
As long as the enemies are amped up, Void's still going to be able to punch them pretty hard.
5 seconds.
And the cool thing that this gives them also is they have so much team fight already, right? That if they do win a team fight with Pango, Slardar, and Undying, Roche is dead. You have Corrosive Haze, you have the Lucky Shot, and you have the Undying Flesh Golem plus Tombstone. Like this Roche, like, you win a fight, you can instantly go Roche after
Yeah, I
them.
like that. Yeah.
I like that they've actually balanced their draft a little bit, and I think this helps them a little bit more in lanes, because I was a little worried about how much they can pressure Alch. I think Slardar maybe can actually slow him down. Enchantress does make it a lot more difficult, but okay. I like this. This is a pretty good approach. Tons of team fight, tons of ways back into the game, ways to shut down Alch.
I mean, we're still expecting what they're the offlaner here for PogChamp, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Unless they're a team that run like the Alch offlane.
No, I don't
Unlikely,
think so.
but it can be done with.
You could
There
do
was a sort of a phase where we saw teams in Western Europe trying the Alch offlane.
yeah. You could do something like the Venos, something like really obnoxious for the Void, but then you're
What
very
about a
in
good
on your
old
lanes.
Razor? Then you get either Razor Slardar or Razor Void as your lane matchup. You're happy.
I mean, the lane matchup, yeah, but people were picking Void as a counter to Razor when it was super buffed.
I
right?
mean, but yeah, but
I mean, I still
is
think
it
it's
really
good.
a counter? I don't know.
I don't think it's a
Time
counter.
Warp's
I
not
think
good
Razor's
enough
still
to-
great personally,
yeah,
but
you
that's
still
what
win
the
them,
pros concept was at the last tournament.
Sure,
right?
sure.
And it's hard to argue that. So. I mean, we still saw the Voids get like crushed a couple of times. He time walks and still had the blink on him, but
Yeah. They might want a bit more of a setup, right? Some sort of initiation. 'Cause at the moment, it's just down to the single target lasso or Marcy being able to leap in. And maybe they want someone with a bit more beef that can just start the fights off with that strong offlaner.
not sure because I don't know. I don't think they can ever win. I don't think they can like pick something that's like, oh, nice, we're gonna win team fights now, guys. There's no way they're winning team fights versus Namiga's draft. They have to just win based off of like gold advantage and pickoffs and numbers.
Maybe get something else that's going to be able to hit the egg.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's where they put the bat off lane, perhaps, and pick like a leaner or something for a mid.
Keeper of the light.
But I did not expect that.
All right. So I guess this is, well, let's see, it's going to take what here on PogChamp. So it is going to be Malik. So it's going to be an off-lane Kotl. Off-lane Kotl this game. Carry Alchemist, and of course, Young G taking the Bat Rider to the mid lane. So, yeah, well, what do you make about this? A bit of side lane Kotl.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, we've seen people attempt it a couple times, but
Yeah.
all right. I mean, let's see how much pressure you can apply, because I feel Void just time walks off Coddle Blast every time.
That's true.
At least it is a lane that isn't gonna just get like maybe not smashed by Undying because you're fast, you're able to avoid him and stuff like that. I'm not sure. bit of an interesting one to finish it all out. I like Namiga's. I mean, Namiga's team fight's just insane. I feel like even if they like lose early game, they'll be able to catch up as long as they just cast their ults decently. But this Alchemist could run away with the game also. Because like I look at Batrider maybe able to make a lot of space, and then Alk, how do they pressure inside of his jungle? They have tons of ults to do so, but it's going to depend on how well this Pango's game goes in the mid lane versus Bat.
It's going to be a fun one. I mean, we've had some very interesting games. Definitely seems to be in the second half of the day, the series that we've had. We've got some pretty wild stuff going on. So already, I'm getting excited to see things here. I mean, seeing already on my screen with some of the heroes that we're getting. This dude's level 26. Now, this man plays a lot of Slardar. There's not that, I feel like there's not many Slardar spammers in the world nowadays, but as we're seeing, Vazia, he's still one of them.
Yeah, I like the Dire lineup. I think it's got more exceptions for if they make mistakes to kind of come back in this game. You know, the Void high ground defense with Chrono, Pango as well too. I believe in Alchemist slightly, but I think that if they don't get, like, they've drafted for lanes mostly on the side of Puckcheck. If they don't do really well in these lanes, I can see this being a hard game for them to actually make sure this Alchemist does well, because there's a lot of percent damage, there's a lot of burst, a lot of minus armor. So let's see how it ends up going. And a lot on the mid matchup. If Youngji just smashes versus Pango, maybe he's able to make that space, but yeah, let's see.
I mean, and do you give the edge to Batrider in that matchup?
Yeah. Definitely. When saying that the Pango still farms, but you're at constant risk of dying in my, like, whenever I see it. Like a flame break and you like make one little misstep or something, it can catch you. And I've seen people even like catch them during the mid shield crash and cancel it or something. So I think it's just easier for Bat to get an advantage.
So this whole mess is all your fault?
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this being the lower bracket, best of 3, everything on the line for these two teams. So both have had a bit of a different route, of course, to getting to this spot. Champ starting in the upper bracket. He got knocked down by Mind Games, but then went on to take out X3. Amiga, they began in the lower bracket. They've only had one series so far, but they did 2-0 Harry Pani, a team that had fallen down from the upper bracket. So Namiga definitely on the more impressive road so far in terms of the caliber of team they were able to beat to get here.
Yep. I've liked these guys for a long time also. I think I talk about Malrine a lot whenever I see like Timber Saws and stuff. This guy is super impressive on his specific heroes. He has like 3 or 4 that he's like absolute god on. I think it's like his, I want to say it's his Ember, his Timber, and his Pango actually. It's like there's 3 or 4 that he plays exceptionally well. I'm looking forward to watch him.
You know, I remember Malrine. I believe it's Malrone, right? Isn't that one of the names that we were told?
I think maybe, and we still said
Malrine. One is like the 1NE is just 1, so it's ONE, so it's Malrone.
Malrone.
You know,
right,
you have to. Some of these players' names, it's like solving a puzzle. But I believe we solved this one. Yeah, I think he likes to go by Malrone.
Oh, very cute.
Bit of a pause. We had a few of these yesterday. Hopefully we don't get too many today. We want to keep the Dota flowing nice and smoothly for you boys and girls at home.
I'm really curious how this top matchup's gonna go. I don't get to see enough. I see it in pubs at these Kato off lanes, but I rarely get to actually see it. I'm curious too because I always have to talk about these little interactions, but Void versus Kato, the blast actually counts as 2 spells. When you time dilate, it applies 2 stacks of time dilation to Kato. And every time you get blasted, you can just time walk. So I'm interested why they went for this Kato in the off lane. Yeah, you'll see it in the mid game, the time dilation versus illuminate.
Yeah, no, it's hard to say. You know what Malik's, what they feel that Malik's going to be able to offer on the Kotal.
The thing that I see is that he didn't want to play like some strength melee. You know, he didn't want to play into Undying, just getting full zoned as we saw multiple times. That's what I understood for it as. And then sure, yeah, he can pump up some mana into his Batrider and all that. But yeah, I'm curious to see. Nice pull by Astral. He actually gets the 4 creeps behind the tower, denies 2 creeps, and keeps the whole creep wave alive. So he's going to continue denying a couple more waves. We see Kirtrick also doing the same thing on the opposing side, but he's going to lose a couple. Nicely done from Astral.
Yeah, they won't be able to get over it to do anything about it.
is in
And
danger.
Astra, of course, letting Malik be the one to hover around and get the CS. Safety behind his tower.
Dear full deny again.
And meanwhile, elsewhere, first blood for Lil down bottom. Gonna chase out Hellscream, take him out 1v1.
Guess just auto attacks. He still was level 1, yeah. Fire Spirit's only for the Phoenix.
I imagine what this lane down bottom, does this start getting pretty rough for the Alk, like having to trade with the Slardar or?
All depends on how much the Ench is able to do. Like what creeps she finds. If she finds like the Ogre Frost Mage, you know, then it's like Alchemist free farms. Similar concept for if he gets the like mana regen thing. Getting that first blood is a pretty big deal because now he gets full set of items coming out here. Blightstone to harass and pressure.
So far in the mid lane CS, he hit the back.
Yeah. Oh well, holding skill point. Slardar so far doing very good versus that melee, so. Lil not able to find a creep. Not just yet, not a good one. So Alchemist will be pressured then during this. Does have chainmail and a ring of protection, so we'll be a little bit better off, but they're actually able to apply some pressure now, even though the Phoenix is dire.
And I'll be interested to see sort of how well the Cole's sort of able to keep in the game in terms of farm. Because I imagine, right, any stacks that PuckChamp made, they'll be going the way of the Alchemist. Like, is this Cole going to get any chance to sort of, you know, use the benefit of its ability to farm and clear stats?
I don't think so. That's and then we just saw, by the way, if you looked at the Coddle, he had three-time dilation stacks. I don't think he's going to be able to be the one to pick the stacks at all now. They're Bat and Alk, right? These two heroes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
rely on kind of snowballing.
Yeah, it's hard to see if there's actually going to be enough space on the map for these three heroes to get the farm they need.
I like this from So Bad. He checks the runes. They double check runes versus the Bat Rider. Melry probably said, hey guys, like, you know, I don't want this Bat to have full bottle. Melry now just gets his bottle delivered also in mid lane as he went for the boots plus stick as we see every game versus Bat Riders. And yeah, so Edge not able to find a armor creep. He actually only finds the Harpy Stormcrafter. So yeah, we're seeing quite a bit of pressure actually on the Crystallize. 15-1 to the 21-10. Great start from an Amiga. Draft, like their mid game, as you mentioned, team fight looks pretty bonkers, and having a good start in laning phase is gonna probably set them up for a really good 10 to 15 minutes. And they're not pressuring. And they're not pressuring Void at all. That's why I really want to understand why they wanted to go for this so badly. The Coddle, yeah, they're not touching Void. Just time walks. He's even queued up the Midas already, Owen.
Just as I envisaged.
This is fine, you know.
He's fine.
You know, the Midas is gonna. Yeah, it's good on point. And he doesn't need that. He's got a Slardar on his team.
Exactly. And also, if they're ahead
for the greed.
If this dire lineup is ahead in the early game, I don't know how Radiant's gonna win like later on, but nice kill top.
See how much pressure they can put on the Void now underneath the tower.
Did only put the 1 point in time walk, so maybe they could actually get him here.
Offer him up some heals at least.
I'm watching bottom, and it's a Slardar now 1v1 for the most part versus Alchemist, so he's kind of owning him. Like, double Bracer plus Gloves of Haste. Crystallize is not able to really walk up very well. I'm watching how well he's got, or how well. Lil's got the mana from the reach where he's just zoning a Phoenix. He's not actually helping the Alk too much. He's now an Alk versus 1v1 is harder.
Green generation!
And pulling Thunder used.
Wasn't able to get a sort of an opportunity to really commit with that there. I'm a bit too concerned of what backup was going to be in store from PuckChamp.
Oh, Vazio's having a blast now. Look at him bottom. Boots, Gloves, and Haste, the Bracers, free farm. Alchemist got pushed out of lane. They have to bring a third hero down. They have to help their Alch. This is pretty devastating, the start that he's having. This low on net worth.
They can get a kill out of this. Looking for the setup.
Nope.
They're already back under the safety of his tower. Weren't able to get on top of him quickly as they needed to.
And now top. Now Reed's made the move.
But for Malik, they're in on top, and indeed, there's no escape once he's been time dilated.
You see it again, 3 stacks. He only has 2 spells, but he's getting the 3rd stack because of that annoying blast interaction with time dilation. And Midas is done. So Void with a net worth advantage over an Alchemist in early game. Kind of fares incredibly well for the Void lineup. Let's pressure a bottom tower.
I mean, they're
Albert
too
dies.
for this. They want to try and defend.
Malik has roll. Malik does roll.
I mean, they're all going to go for the setup there. Badger has the back line, ready to go to crystallize. In they go with the Rolling Thunder. They'll take out the 2 of them there. A great and even catching Lil. Malrone getting across the 3 of them. Finding Lil as well at the end towards the TP out. Namiga, they'll get all 3 of them and keep this tier 1 tower alive.
Oh boy, Owen. We might be in for a pretty dominant game from Namiga after all this. Alchemist is completely crippled. The damage is going to be pretty high on the side of Namiga now with this Pango having a good start too. And Slaughter is absolute free farming. Treads double bracer. Alk has to find a different place to farm. Level 4 on Crystallized.
Good action here. Already Tombstone's been dropped down. They come forward. Sunray onto the back right. He'll go for a lasso attempt. Dragging Sobat up to the high ground, but there's no follow-up damage. Nothing to come of this lasso. May still be in trouble himself. The zombies continuing to chase down Young G, as indeed Namiga will pick up that kill as well. Moving across the map with this aggression. Back up top. I mean, at this point, he could look for solo kill opportunity. He's going to try for it. Drops down the chrono. Needs a couple of bashes out of this. Really far. He's going to... that was risky. I guess he wanted to set up the heal and the damage. He will actually make it away there. If another bash came through, probably would have died. To be he'll live. Back in the jungle. Namiga, they just keep the action going. They're going to go for Crystallize. They're in upon him. They're trying to get the concoction out, but the bash and the physical damage from the Slider is too much. It's Crystallized down again. Namiga pretty much getting whatever they want here around this jungle. They know exactly how to play around the strength that this Slardar has here. Of course, having an excellent time, excellent start to the game. And yeah, they get him anywhere near the Alchemist, and the Alchemist just doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, and he's level 5 on Alk. Slardar at 7. Kind of gonna set the pace for the whole game. Void is 1,000. Like, this is something you never see. Like, you know, the Cinder and quote. An Alchemist game is an Alchemist game. If Alchemist is this far behind, I don't know how he catches up. Where does he go? He has to just straight jungle, and they have really good ways to actually pressure. They don't have the best ways to take towers on Namiga, but when they group up, you know, I don't know how PugChamp's gonna have to react. They're gonna have to maybe just send Malik to try to stall and push out to stop these pushes, but huge advantage right now for Namiga.
Yeah, I guess that is the role that Malik can play, right? He can be that wave clear, can stall. You know, he's got to be in the right lane at the right time, but he can be the man to bring the deep push in. And he does have to be, because no one else is going to.
Yeah, it's just like, is that even, you know, you're not, this is draft isn't made to play toward the later stages of the game. This is a draft that wants to play ahead on PugChamp. When you're playing with Alchemist, you want to have this incredible farm, and if you stall, you're going to be able to out-farm and out-resource and out-scale. You're not going to out-scale. Versus Void, Phoenix, Slardar, there's no way. With just an Alchemist single core, unless some magnificent pickoffs up happening, this Alchemist is going to have a pretty impossible road to recovery.
On the hunt for radiant forces.
Let's see what Young G is going to be able to do.
Spark of vitality.
Gonna look for Fury up on the top lane. With this one, he has already used the time warp. There's no way to escape. They have to knock down. Enough damage to be done. But if Malrone can find anything in return, still here. Still needs your TPs out elsewhere from PugChamp. Malrone wants to dive for tier 1 for more. He won't. Just settle for the 1-for-1 trade.
Good kill. Young G has to have every single one of his moves be successful so they can make that space. Sobat is triangle with Tombstone. Stole the hard camp, I think. Yeah, stole hard camp with Tombstone. Just denying away those stacks. That catch up that Crystallized desperately needs. Now been taking a bit. Astro level 6. Trying down bottom.
Kill this Slardar, but a heads up move there. He knows Lasso's on cooldown, just TPs away from the 3 of them, and they've got nothing to stop it.
Very nice play. The one thing about Marcy now, right? Your initiation is your rebound. So as soon as that's used, you can actually TP out every time. Rebound and dispose of first.
Tower? Yeah, they'll lose this tower.
Still a good move, good impact move. Opening up the map for Crystallize to start trickling his way back up. Still a long road to recovery, but at least he's middle of the pack now, not bottom.
Continue to just try and avoid any fight that the Amiga look to bring. Amiga, they'll step things up once they have the blink done. But are very, very close to it. Going to gold off. Between sort of that and Malrone's defusal that have very shortly. They'll have the tools required to just continue to look for these fights in PuckChamp's half of the map into their jungle. Point where Crystallize won't quite be ready for them if he gets caught. See here, Crystallize getting a little bit of space. So, you know, being 5th at the moment in the net worth out of the 6 scores at 12 minutes is not the place you want to be as an alchemist. Yeah, you're crackling all over the place. I'd say unplug all your audio stuff. Really plug all your, you got loose cable. Definitely loose cable. All right, here we go, Namiga. This time round, PuckChamp more aware that these sort of plays are going to be attempted. But it's still getting away in the same area where he's able to clear these 2 stacks together. Amiga won't hunt deeper for him at this point in time. They'll settle for trying to put this tier 1 tower down in turn bottom. Anything which should push Malrone towards the defusal. As we can see, has the blink dagger ready. Play out, ready to deliver and ready to jump in with. Look to continue to open the map up further and further. Keep a lot of space for the Void. Void opting to TP away from that top lane. Sense pressure's going to be coming in from PuckChamp themselves up top.
There is little hope.
Yeah, she wants to find a bit of action with the Chrono here. Straight away, looking to move to this area that they know that Crystallize is likely to be farming in. To be caught once again, doing a good job of not being found by these movements from Namiga. PuckChamp now having a little bit of extra control with the Orchid. Close to this game being completed. Simon's still at a point where Void can definitely be picked up. Going for the Maelstrom after the Midas. Well away from any sort of save or dispel.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Let's see what they can get with this smoke. Oh, triangle they go. Yeah, they sound beautiful to me. Here we go. Outrider's gone. I don't even need the Chrono for that. They're looking over to the mid. I mean, he'll drop the Chrono for this one, Kiri's. Oh, and now he'll buy time for the rest of them. He goes to swing across. Astral's falling low. Malik's going to get rinsed out by Malrone and Fazia. That's 3 of them dead. The tier bomb's on in the mid lane. Amiga just continuing to show that this point of the game does so much more than what PuckChamp can.
And this is the thing that we talked about in the draft and Slardar, when it opens up. They can win a fight, they still have a couple ults, and they can just go straight into Roche. This game's looking pretty difficult for PuckChamp to recover. The Alchemist, as we said, who came his lane just too hard. His Radiance is going to come out, but it's a late Radiance. He's still short about 1,000 gold. I think they steal it.
Nothing they can do in time. Malrone's got the Aegis in his hands.
Yeah, road to recovery, you know, when you don't have the team fight advantage, and these lanes did go poorly, and you're running an Alchemist draft, this is where it's like recovery outlet is incredibly difficult. You have to pretty much, you have to go for these pickoffs and play kind of perfectly around the map to try to come back, because you're not, like we mentioned earlier, you're not going to win team fights versus this draft, and you're at this big deficit now that, you know, even if you had an advantage, the team fights are still going to be complicated. So let's see what they're able to do, especially for Young G, how much they can split punch and catch people on the side lanes whenever Malik does get push going. He does have Orchid, so this Coddle and Batrider can pick people off, but the way Namiga's played so far, they don't give the opportunity.
Namiga will be very quick to make moves, even when they don't have Chrono. They don't need it really. Val's just able to jump in. Very quick to kill quite a fair few of the heroes on PuckChamp's lineup.
This last pick Slardar was absolutely perfect, really. Level 12 already.
And maybe something that could have been expected. As I say, it's no secret for this last Val, she plays a lot of Slardar. Level 26 Master Tier.
It is one of the hardest, if not the hardest counter versus those melee carries as well too. Now that Razor and Viper Slardar, you know, the Yamar thing that he likes to do, and then, you know, your Mars and stuff, to be able to shut down those physical melee carries. Slardar is amazing at doing that.
A little bit of an ambitious tombstone there for So Bad. Maybe seeing if it would be enough to start the fight on Crystallize, but Crystallize very easily walking away from that. We'll go with the smoke PuckChamp. See if they can find kill bottom. It is for now just the Phoenix. We're going to move to the triangle instead. On top of this void, but he's going to go on top of it. They just turn Kyrian, pop the Chronos, and two of the Malik. Look at the silence on, but he's having to run and he cannot escape the burn of the Sunray. Malik goes down, Astral manages to sneak away. They look like he needs to ship an old rails to survive. Off the side, they'll go for the lasso. Has to use the lasso there to provide himself the safety to be out as the back. That's not what PuckChamp were looking for at all there. And very nicely done. Yeah, Kiri just hides in the trees, and then seems they're ready to try and find him. He just turns and drops a Chrono on both of them.
Just making it look easy.
Radiant's top tower is in danger.
Radiance online, Ogre X2, but that's such a deficit.
No, it's just
Slardar
unfair.
nearly a BKB done, so that Radiance is not really going to phase him once he has that too. Continue to play aggressive. They're looking to dominate the jungle. Right now they're spotted though. This maybe is an opportunity for PuckChamp.
They catch him with the rebound, and the blinks up, Vaz's away. Tombstone's dropped down. PuckChamp, they'll still try and find it. They'll look to take down the Tombstone, but it's going to get healed up by So Bad. Doesn't matter, they'll still finish it. They should be able to finish the Undying. They keep missing a lot of these. There they go. Finally able to take down the Tombstone and the Undying. But you can see from Namiga, they still want to go.
Yeah, Baroni's coming in.
Vaz wants to jump.
Good stuff. First catch on the two. Second time blow. Saved his life probably with that Centaur stuff. As soon as the Pango and Vazia start to getting the attempt to a potential reinitiation, that's when you see PuckChamp just have to full reset and run away. These two are too strong for them to fight still. And of course, Malron got lucky, gets himself a Brigand's Blade on top too. It's kind of best item we can get on a Pango, just running your head. And he is going to be going for an Aghanims. So with Pango and Phoenix, and now it's even easier as Pango, you literally are just going to be disarming people non-stop. So that Ag is going to be even harder for them to kill whenever that Ags does come out for Pango. And they just continue sweeping the map, controlling everything. While Void free farms.
Yeah, no, they're crushing. And it really is a case of, you know, the lead being much more than 3K shows. You know, the only reason that's as low, obviously still not that low, but it's lower than it really, you know, actively is in this game, is because the AUK, of course, is just inflating the gold the PuckChamp have. But that gold it's not really doing a whole lot right now.
No, absolutely not. The Phoenix walking into the jungle versus 2 or 3 heroes.
Malak just getting destroyed and Malik's dead.
Full BKB done for the Slardar. Yeah, definitely got to watch out for last pick Slardar if you're going to be going for this, because yeah, he's completely blown the game open.
Against Namiga for sure. So when you've got such a proficient Slardar player, you've got to have it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, he's done for, you know, a little bit of different than we're used to seeing with Slardar, because we're pretty much only seeing Mara play. It's the Mask of Madness build. Nope, he's got this double bracer, just stick in the lane, treads build. That's worked phenomenally.
Make a push for this tier 2, I don't know if PuckChamp is there much you can do or want to do about this. You come down here, you're getting chronos, you're getting jumped.
Yeah. You can't team fight. That's been the kind of the name of the game even before the lanes went as bad as they did.
Yeah.
Dive's top tower is under attack.
Very Midas usage, but his BKB complete and on the way out.
This is the best move they can do on PuckChamp, is just go for the tier 2 split. But they still get the trade. Pretty good. yeah, now, how do you fight? You already couldn't really fight into these plethora of ults and control. Now there's an Axe Pango with a Phoenix on his team. So he's going to be disarming you constantly. And you're never going to be able to focus the egg and the tombstone. Game continues to be harder and harder for this poor alchemist as he is the solo core. MG spotted for a second. Nice. Cancels the blink.
What Namiga want to do? Grouped up and smoked up.
They haven't found crystallizers in time, so he is now actually top net worth. BKB playmail going to be done, so at least he'll have some armor for that Slardar. Not for all the minus armor that's going to be though. Lucky shot as well as that Slardar is going to put him negative anyway.
And he just gone and left the top half of the map at just the right time as well.
Yeah,
Crystallizer avoids this move. Well, we get left behind. Very quickly shredded there by Malrone.
Good old Brigand's Blade. Look how much damage the Swashbuckler did. 1,000 damage swash. Now they're starting to look to dominate map a little bit more, because I feel like they want to be dominating a little more than they are right now, because Crystallize is getting some space to farm. They're getting a gem, so looking to clear out these wards and continue sweeping map. Champ,
But they can get hit. Nobody jumps, nobody in. Kiri doesn't need to use the Chrono. They'll take out Astral. Maybe see if they can find more. Youngji put the BKB to escape.
Yeah, he didn't even, like, nothing hit him. He literally just BKB'd when he saw Tombstone dropped and bailed the hell out. Can't even get an opportunity when they're full smoked.
Very difficult for them to make a play until they're at a point as a team where they can fight with Crystallize. But Crystallize not wanting to get involved in the fights yet. Needs more time.
So it's
Get
just
that AC done.
It just continues to be difficult because they literally have no team fight. They have to get a pick off and then start number advantage. Maybe even like 2 pick-offs before any type of fight starts for this Alchemist to have a successful fight. Yeah, he's just so addressed. He can chill him. Now they can just kind of sit back and wait for any fight to come to them. They're kind of waiting for that next Roche opportunity because they'll kill it before PogChamp will be able to react.
PogChamp's going to try and smoke. See if they can get some sort of catch or pick off between the sort of single target control that they do have. Rely on them finding member of Namiga alone, and as we've seen for the most part, Namiga just constantly as a group and ready to team fight. Something that PogChamp wants to deal with.
Yeah, they're sticking together, playing smart, playing around the gem.
Can they get any sort of grab?
So they're so scared to jump.
They know how tricky it is. They jump in. They're probably dying.
Because I'm sure they're discussing, like, who do we want to catch? Like, do you want to catch? Okay, so it's Void is their main target, but you still have to be careful of this Slardar coming in.
See here, BKB spot. So, onto the Void. See if they can bring it down. They can. They're able to take out Kiri. Get more. They'll turn towards Vazia. See Malrone looking for the rolling thunder opportunity. Some silence comes into play. If you get out of this PogChamp, they'll be very happy with the play. Get the Void. He's real. But a support for Gary. And that the Echo is pretty close. He can run down by Malrone. Yeah, Namiga, they will be able to take more out of this. They get crystallized there.
Oh, it looks...
Wasn't actually able to retreat in time.
It looked so good, actually, for PogChamp. They got the perfect pick. They were resetting, but he stuck around and stunned himself. Oh, that's crippling. That was actually like the potential attempt at a comeback there. Now it's a huge swing back, and now out that 30 seconds. Void can respawn. They might be able to just walk into Roche because they have Chrono available, no Lasso available. Oh, that was almost the potential for that comeback there, too.
Roshan is
I'd imagine
something they can step in and take.
You just got fat right last down. Yeah, he's gonna die so
super
fast.
easy. Another charge for PogChamp. I mean, anything to say about this? To play play here with the Aegis.
Man, you couldn't ask for more the way the PogChamp actually got the way the lasso on Void. They silenced the Pango when he's trying to get the initiation, and then they just they stick around too long on Alpha. Miga. Now with this, with Aegis and with a free shard.
And of course, still Chrono. Still got the Chrono ready to go, so.
Yeah, they're gonna let the push disadvantage go too. Alchemist did hit 15 during that fight, so he did get Yas Fragrance armor, which is gonna be pretty nice for his team versus this heavy minus armor, but still continues to just be at this deficit. It's a 4 protect 1 lineup.
Dire's bottom tower is
Their heroes just, they just scale so much harder on Dire. So unless there's just some massive mistakes from Amiga.
Who's going to back up for who
Dire's
first?
bottom tower is under
PogChamp
attack.
has to. Malik will be the one to start. Oh, important to point out though, they did get the gem at least. So, all things considered, yeah, it was still pretty bad for them because they lost the Alk at the end, but